can I just explain the screw-ups I've had in my recent videos, my past 3 recent videos? So as you know, in the 7th podcast, our microphones weren't recording. As you know, I talked about that in the last one. I had it set to the wrong input setting on my freaking laptop. Oh, I'm so mad I didn't catch that. It's okay though, it's all over. Then, in the last podcast with Just Super Cool Guy Joe, in the middle of the podcast, his camera, he was sitting over here, so he had his own camera facing at him. The card got full. The SD card filled up. And so he had to come over here, and I wasn't prepared for that. So the whole second half of the podcast, he had to sit next to me. And I mean, as you can tell, this is a dynamic microphone. You know what that means? If I talk just simply this far away or this off-centered, it's significantly quieter. And so we both had to sit like right next to each other, like all in each other's faces and crap. So that didn't go well. And then in the last main whatever video, for the first, first probably 30 seconds of the video, the microphone audio did something that's never happened before. I don't even know how it happened, why it happened, how to prevent it from happening in the future. But when I was listening back, it was like maybe the USB thing wasn't plugged in all the way or something. Like the audio was like cutting. It was like cutting like if you picture audio waves and you if you take, all right, let's say you take a long audio wave, right, and you cut the middle and then you put those two pieces together, it was like doing that. It was like cutting the beginning and ends of waveforms, and it was like, I was like, what the hell? And I couldn't align it with the video, so I was like, fuck, I just have to align it to I just have to use the camera's audio. But then it fixed itself, like, I don't know, after 30 seconds. Like I said, it was the first 30 seconds. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad, but still. So I'm hoping everything's going to go as planned in this podcast. I want to take a second, or a couple seconds, or a couple minutes to promote the SoundCloud. I'm really trying to push this just because as of right now, I haven't been promoting the whatever podcast SoundCloud a lot. And so, I mean, I think the most activity I've gotten on that SoundCloud is like 3 listens. 3 listens and like 1 like on like the last podcast, you know, which is like, if it's going to continue like that, then it's just like, all right, there's no point in doing this. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you don't care for the SoundCloud, you can let me know in the comments, or you can hear what I have to say about I don't want to make you, I don't want to try to, like, if you enjoy, I talked about in the last podcast, you know, about enjoying watching somebody talking as you're listening to a podcast. So I don't want to try to convert the people that have already said they enjoy watching. But for those of you that, I guess for those of you that are fans of just listening to podcasts, I really want to try to reach out to you and lead you over to the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/WE podcast, or just We Podcast. So a couple things. First of all, on the SoundCloud, the podcasts come out early, right? So when this podcast, this video comes out on YouTube, the next podcast's audio will be on SoundCloud. You see what I'm saying? So if you're listening, how do I put this? So confusing. Okay, today's Thursday, August 17th. I am uploading the audio to this podcast today. But on YouTube, the 9th podcast came out today. You see what I'm saying? So you go on SoundCloud, you get the podcast early, a few days early. You get it whenever the last one came out on YouTube. Another thing, you get the full audio. If you haven't noticed, I'm really awkward with starting things up and doing an intro to podcasts and stuff. So ever since the beginning, I kind of just like. If you ever wondered why on YouTube the podcast starts so abruptly in the middle of me like already talking about something, it's because I'm so awkward with like I feel like I'm awkward with starting them, so I'm just like, all right, and I'll just cut in like 30 seconds into the podcast. But on here, if you're listening on SoundCloud right now, you get the full thing. You get from when I start recording to when I stop recording, which isn't usually much, but it's something to look forward to. Another thing you can do on SoundCloud is you can download it and put it onto your smartphone. You can put it onto your iPod. Are those still a thing, iPods? Whatever happened to iPods? MP3 players? I don't know. You could download it anywhere. What I'm trying to say is, for those of you that like listening to it, you can download it onto a device so that when you are doing something else, whether you're at the gym or taking a shower or driving a car or mowing the lawn, I don't care what you're doing, you can listen with your ears. You can put on some earbuds, put on some headphones, and listen to the podcast because you don't have to watch. And I'm sorry if I ever refer to something physically. Like right now I'm wearing this hat. I don't usually wear hats. For those of you listening right now, you can't see what I'm talking about. Things like that, Oh, hey, look at this right here. You SoundCloud listeners are like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna try my best to not do that so much, but I'm pre-apologizing if I do. Maybe I should hire somebody to be off camera while I do these so that whenever I do that, they can be like, hey, what are you talking about? You got to explain it. So yeah, soundcloud.com/WE podcast. Share it, love it, like it, comment, That's one thing I really like about SoundCloud is you can comment at a specific timestamp. So if you're trying to respond to something specific, you can comment right at that spot. I think that's really cool. So, like I said, for those of you that prefer to watch somebody talk while listening to a podcast, like I explained in the last podcast, I personally understand that. I personally feel the same way. Continue doing that, and I appreciate your love here on YouTube. For those of you that don't know about it, SoundCloud, whatever podcasts, it's a thing. Check it out. Love it, like it, share it. I've said that. That's really all I had to say today. So, how's your day been? Oh, you can't talk. Sorry. I don't know why I like being up on this microphone so much. My mouth is literally touching it almost the entire time. You don't need to be that close. It just sounds really good. I like how my voice sounds. This is my favorite microphone. I started off using. Hold on. Now again, for you audio listeners, I'm going to explain what's happening right now. I'm grabbing the whatever microphone that I used to use to record these podcasts. Here it is, right here. The reason I don't use this is just because I don't. It's a condenser microphone, so it picks up a lot more noise all around it, and so it's just. I'm not in a I do have sound blankets up, but I'm not in a sound booth. So you know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't sound great with background noise and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but not as good as this microphone. This microphone is the ultimate microphone for hiding a bad recording environment. And that's why I will forever love it. It is a dynamic mic. That's what dynamic microphones are, but it's like the best sounding dynamic microphone you can find. But this is my baby right here. This microphone, the whatever microphone. This is what I called it, the whatever microphone. Clever name, isn't it? It's my baby. You know, I love you. I'll put you back. Alright, I had a little intimate moment. I also recently discovered the thing on the dials on the back of this microphone. You guys see this? This is some like next level shit right here. I don't even have actually I do have that on that microphone, but it doesn't look like this. So you got the low end frequencies on the left. You got the low end frequency control on the left and the higher end on the right. I got the higher end turned up. I got the lower end flat. I got the higher end up. I wish I could turn the lower end up too, but you can only turn it down on this. I think it's bassy enough. Is that sounding bassy enough for you? Oh, oh, oh. Sorry, had a moment. I was almost going to promote where you can get this mug that I was just drinking from, but I don't want to promote too many things. Check out the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/WE podcast. I'm sorry I wasn't more prepared for this. You know, I talked about the screw ups that I had. I talked about the SoundCloud, and that was all I had written down. I should probably come more prepared. Let's look at some news. Y'all want to talk about some news? Here we go. News. Let's just search news. What happens when I just search news? All right, here we go. Barcelona attack. You know what? I heard about that. I don't really know like what it's about. 13 killed as van rams crowds. What? Contains upsetting scenes. I can actually oh no. I'm watching a video of people running from a van that I guess has been like just crashing into people. What is it though? What is it though? Is it like a terrorist attack or something? Like what? Why did somebody? Oh, it was a rented vehicle sped along pedestrian area that is popular with tourists, mowing people down. What? Spain's prime. Oh, is it where? Oh, Spain's prime minister said it was a jihadist attack. 2 people have been arrested, but police say neither was the driver who fled on foot. Speaking of arresting or being arrested, I have a story that I've been wanting to tell on this podcast for so long, for weeks now. It's probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to me that I want to tell on here. Some of you already know about it. I don't want to talk about it like publicly yet though, because it's not. I'm just waiting for one more thing to get the whole thing closed off. And once it's closed off, I'll be talking about it. There will be an entire podcast dedicated to that story of what happened to me. So expect I've been like thinking in my head like how I'm gonna explain it and how I'm gonna like lay it down, and the best way to sort of, you'll see. It'll be a good one. It'll definitely be a good one, and I hope to have my friends that were with me when this happened to also explain it. That would be really cool. I think that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon. All right, let's back to news. Google News. Google News isn't the same as regular news. Google News is like what's trending. Trump sad over removal of our beautiful statues. What? Water on deck, get out. What scientists hope to learn from... Oh! There's an eclipse on... What's today? Oh, this podcast is coming out after my birthday on YouTube. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud right now, my birthday is on Monday, which is the same day as the solar eclipse. I think that's pretty dope. But it's, if you're watching this on YouTube, then it's watching this when it came out. On YouTube, it's already too late. My birthday was yesterday. Wish me a happy birthday. What else? I don't iOS 11. That's cool. I have that. Sony rolling out PS4 system update. What? The first animals evolved during the absolute worst time on Earth? What? Let me see this. What are you talking about? About 700 million years ago, Earth turned into a snowball. The polar ice sheets expanded until they engulfed the globe. The oceans turned to slush. The vast expanses of ice and snow reflected the sun's light back into space, exacerbating the endless winter. Sorry for my ignorance in the English language. Temporary relief came in the form of massive volcano eruptions, which spewed carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and triggered a period of global warming. But that, too, spiraled out of control. Earth became a greenhouse. Its oceans hot enough to cook their inhabitants. Its blighted landscape further ravaged by floods. Then suddenly something about the shifting continents or ash-darkened skies prompted the planet to cool again. The snowball returned. They haven't talked about animals in this at all. I don't understand. Oh, they're talking about humans. I'm a freaking idiot. The first animals evolved during the... Are they talking about humans? Are we animals? I mean, I guess technically. Life has existed on Earth for almost as long as Earth's been around. Every few months, it seems researchers uncover ever more ancient rocks they claim contain the world's oldest fossils. But the creatures that inhabit our planet for its first 3 billion years were tiny, simple, mostly single-celled bacteria. Science figure out. Why is this so long? Why can't you just tell me what the fuck you're talking about in the fucking heading of your fucking article? Don't you hate that about news websites? They can't just have a title and be like, this is what we're talking about in one paragraph. They have to have a whole page. Like, are you kidding me? I ain't trying to read all that. What's wrong with you? Blood tests find cancer before symptoms start. Wow, that's pretty cool. Scientists tout positive findings in peanut allergy pill study? What? Yo, they're gonna have a cure to a peanut allergy? No fucking way. Hold on. In the first study 4 years ago, 56 children took the pill once daily for 18 months. In this most recent study, 48 of the 56 participated. What we found was that the majority of children who achieved tolerance after the end of the treatment in the original study were still eating peanuts 4 years after having stopped their treatment. That's unbelievable. She said the team of scientists were trying to reprogram the immune response away from the allergy towards tolerance. We're very excited by these findings because to us it really shows that probiotic peanut combination can actually change the immune response to peanut and provide benefits long-term, years after having stopped the treatment. Wow. Well, you never hear about it again. See, that's the thing with all, you hear about a study about, oh, that's really cool. They finally found a cure for that. Oh, they finally found something for that. But then you never hear about it again. Like, my friend's still complaining about being allergic to peanuts a year later. You know what I mean? It's like, what are you doing, scientists? You know, you figure things out and then you just move on. Why can't you figure something out and then you know, pursue it, right? If I was a scientist, that would be my goal. Discover something, and once I discovered it, build a career out of it, right? Whoever discovered this, whoever, you know, not discovered, but whoever came up with this treatment should be making a website right now that I can go to get this treatment. Not me personally, I don't have a peanut allergy, but people who have peanut allergies. That's kind of crazy. I have a shellfish allergy. Do you know that? Technically, not really. I don't know. When I was like 4 years old, I ate shrimp. I broke out in hives. My throat closed up. Had to call an ambulance. I don't remember this at all. That's what I've been told. And and then in 2000, well, you know, every year we go up to Maine and we usually get like lobster, and we, you know, the Provost, a big fan of the shellfish, you know, but I'm allergic. But I'll grab it, and I'll grab a shrimp, you know. And I'll eat like 6 of them, and then I'll be fine. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'm not allergic anymore. Well, back in 2012, I had tests redone. Oh no! I'll clean it up in a second. I had a test redone where they prick you in the back with all different types of shellfish to see if you break out in hives and see if it puffs up, and it did. There's pictures on my Facebook. Oh, it's on my profile though. Maybe I'll share it on my page. Yeah, so I was like, damn. But I still eat it. To this day, I still eat it. I've gone out with my friend and eaten an entire plate of steamers and been fine. I was completely fine. So maybe the doctor's lying to me. I don't know. Maybe I should just get it retested. Maybe I'm not allergic anymore, because I still will eat shellfish every once in a while and be fine. You know, I don't eat too much to be safe, but who knows? Maybe I'm not allergic anymore, and maybe I can eat all I want, because I will. I'll eat a whole goddamn lobster with shrimp inside of it. All right, that's it for this podcast. You can follow me on social media at Naroper, which is, I've said this before, it's my initials, but it's the first 2 letters of my initials rather than just the first letter. Or the first 2 letters of my full name rather than just, you know what I mean. Also, check out the SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/WE podcast. And that's it. I'll see you in the next one.